Hello, everyone. Good morning, and thank you so much. I'll tell you, this is, I'm a little off script just to start out. You mentioned Aaron at Untuck and I was standing there yesterday and listening to Aaron and thinking, I just needed to call you, man. He totally had this research, he embodied this research. And so now I'm gonna give you the numbers behind what he said, basically is what's happening. So thanks for joining me today. As Randall said, this is, to my knowledge, the first ever major soup to nuts piece of research on direct-to-consumer brands, media, customer acquisition, what's driving LTV, what the other objectives are, how they do what they do, why you do what you do, and then what you're gonna do next. So that's pretty much, here is the benchmark intent. So it's first ever, we're gonna do it again, right, Randall? And we're going to, year over year or every other year, we're gonna be determining that as we go, but really start to dig into everything about the media piece of all direct-to-consumer brand businesses in the United States to understand how you're growing and how we can potentially help you get to the next level. Randall had mentioned 300, it's 330 actually, who responded to this study. I want to be very clear that they were only media people who responded to this study. We were terminating anybody that was not media. So these are people who know the ins and outs of the business, who are doing the planning and the buying and the strategy. We're going to start with a little bit of a profile. First is that they did, the respondents did span all sizes of business. As you can see here, it's a pretty nice even split. Titles, as I said, are all from senior executive on down. As long as you were hands-on in media, you were included in the study. And there was a 1/3, 2/3 female to male split. We did find, and I think for me, this was a bit of a surprise. We found that while, yes, the millennial generation is the primary target, it is only so by a few points, that it is from Gen Z through Gen X that they are really, and that you are really putting your dollars toward. And this kind of plays out, this diversification plays out. We heard that with Untuck yesterday, and I am hearing it and seeing it again, not only in who they're targeting, but also in how they're targeting and where they're targeting. I was also pretty happy to see that 98% say, yes, we believe in paid media. That does not mean that, like incumbent brands, they can't go dark at times. Just like every brand, there is time that within the course of a year that you'll go dark, you'll do some test and learn, you'll see where to go next. But it is 72% who think they can go dark for at least a period of time in any given period.
If you're driving a business that is growing at exponential speed, a discipline to understanding your key performance indicators throughout the duration of that exponential growth is critical. Now you can really understand the lifeline of your business. You're not beholden to trying to figure out, well, was it that sale that I did last year? Was it this markdown that I took? You're not trying to figure out what's going on. You're actually figuring out how to get to your next step. Screen time is spent, it's on data and analytics, because I believe that you shouldn't be creating moments throughout the week where like, today I'm gonna stop and look at data. It should be all day, every day, because you have to understand the heartbeat of your company. And if you can understand the heartbeat of your company, you'll know like this, something amazing's happening. You can quickly zone.
Oh, shoot, sorry. That was me. Can you help me out there? Oh, okay, thank you. It was the end of the quote, which is basically saying, yeah, we look at media, we look at the test and learn, we look at the results all day, every day. We're constantly looking at our analytics, and that speaks to how they are beginning to do attribution, and how they are trying to figure out what the right media mix is. So for those of you who are direct brands in the room, find me later because I'd like to hear more about that. I'd like to know more about how you are doing what you're doing, and we will get into attribution in a few moments. So it's not really a surprise that roughly 2/3 of disruptors said that they included social media when they launched, and that Facebook really had the lion's share of that market. We are finding, though, that today they are leveraging all media. So you can see from search through display and social, and I think Randall alluded to this yesterday with display being such a large piece of that pie, that this is a very diversified group. And it plays offline as well as on. So it's pretty much a 60-40 split. And I will tell you, I dug into the numbers on this, and I looked at size of company in number of employees. I looked at what we could know about revenue ranges. I looked at where they were located in the US. And it plays out 60-40 no matter what size the company is or what the maturity level is. So this is a split that's real. And offline, direct mail is the winner. And I think that we've been hearing a lot, and I have to give kudos to the VAB, the Video Advertising Bureau, on doing such a great job in talking about TV being the next place to go. But I'll tell you, TV is 4 or 5 points less than the other media here, although it's a tight race. There's no question that direct mail is in the lead. So offline or on, the media portfolio is diverse. Now we see nearly half of the media brands are using 6 to 15 different media partners, speaking again to that diversification. Premium content really matters here, and nearly all of them are using content publishers. 1 in every 5 say they do so because there is a solid reputation, and equally because the user experience is so terrific on premium publishing. But cookie cutter ads aren't going to work. So we found that there is a great interest and expansion into personalization in all of its different forms. There's some data on this on IAB.com. There's a little bit of a deeper deck that you can take a look at. Scott Palladini had actually said that, and he's at Bear Mattress, he said that he uses digital to direct mail for personalization, and that as a result, they have decreased their cost per acquisition and added new customers to their brand roster. So personalization is trending, and we're gonna see an even greater number of DTC brands, as you can see, using that in the year ahead. We're gonna drive into what's driving media buys right now. Customer satisfaction, by a long shot. So one of the things that I found so incredibly interesting about the results of this research is that customer satisfaction is trumping customer acquisition in the space, and they don't have that cart before the horse mentality. Direct-to-consumer brands are living this customer-centric model, which is really, really important for every publisher and everyone who is supporting them to know when they are looking at the different kinds of products that you're offering. More than 2/3 of direct brands are saying that they have a CAC and an LTV objective. So it's not that CAC and LTV are not important, they're extremely important, it's just not the only objective. Here we see that when asked which platforms and types are preferred for CAC and LTV, in-feed social is leading. It's the best at delivering CAC and customer acquisition, followed by video and audio streaming. So cost per acquisition, social, banner, in-feed, and then I see really any kind of streaming as the next grouping for delivering that objective. The same 3 are chosen for lifetime value objectives. I think what was really also interesting there is that you see traditional media kind of falling to the bottom of that list. They're digging deeper into social. You can see that if you're in-house you're being more reliant on social media than if you are using outside methods. We can also see here that 2 points more before I leave this section is that direct-to-consumer brands are very much aware of and leveraging new media, and 43% say that they have dollars already budgeted to it. If you take a look at what they intend for 2020, and I hope that you would all agree, if you're a direct-to-consumer brand in the room, that number's jumping to 70%. Now, for brick and mortar, there's no question that brick and mortar is driving more media buy. So we see 25% here of those who have expanded retail or opened their first brick and mortar store in this past year have actually increased their spend. 46% of them say so. And then 43% of them said that they stayed flat. Also very important to publishers and those who are looking to partner with those brands. Now we're going to talk about measurement. The co-founder of Wander Beauty introduces this measurement section. Divya, who was part of our visionary breakfast yesterday morning, talks about test and learn, and she talks about it being the foundation of their very diverse media buy.
We are big on experimentation. It's a new frontier in terms of all the different channels you can test and try. We're always looking at what is the goal for this new media channel. Is it reach? Is it conversion to sale? Is it a ROAS goal? And then we kind of go in with like, okay, we will test this channel because we're trying to achieve X. If we want reach, we're going for a bigger channel. We're looking for bigger brand awareness. If we're looking for driving conversion to sale, we're probably doing something that's more actionable, more direct response. So I think we always go in with like, what is the goal of the channel, and then test the channel.
So, given Divya's response, it's not a surprise to see that 70% of you direct-to-consumer brands have included an analytics person or team within your company. That is talent that you've sought. On the other hand, I think it's important to note that attribution modeling is rudimentary, and I call out to those measurement vendors and research insights folks in the room to help here. We see that the majority are using first touch, and while this was a multi-select question, first touch is certainly used by close to 60%. And then it falls off below there, and last touch is the next highest. So this is where the industry's agency and measurement and research services and vendors should take special heed. These brands do need some help and guidance in figuring out attribution modeling, not that we all don't. 55% of direct brands have included offline attribution modeling into their work too. And nearly 40% said they were trying to. Another myth busted is that in-house outsourcing of media buys, only 27% of you disruptors reported that you're managing your actual media buys in-house, leaving 72% to agencies and or consultants. Does that feel real? Yeah, I'm seeing some heads. If you are doing programmatic in-house, you are programmatic by design. And by that, we really mean that you've got the tools at hand in order to do the work. That is from delivery through measurement. Let's talk a little bit about earned and owned now. At the very beginning of this presentation, I made a statement that 72% of those who surveyed said that they could go dark on media at any given point for some duration. Here we see that 90% have a reliance on earned media only at some point in their year, and 95% believe that earned media has given significant contribution to their overall success. Ariel Kay of Parachute said that PR is the gift that keeps on giving. Social platforms, roughly 2/3 of disruptors say that social media, social influencers, publisher sites are what are delivering the best contribution for that earned media. And then the future. Where are they gonna go? Where are you gonna go? What you told me was, yes, video. video, whether it's TV, video, whether it's online, streaming, AVOD, ad-supported video, online video, it's all part and parcel. And then part of that also is search and social, which is also very, very key for next year. And I think that we also see audio, we also see events, again, playing completely into this idea of diversification as the trend moving forward. Take notice, there is a DTC share shift going on in media. It's happening, and it's not all about TV, and it's not all about social, despite what you might have read in the press. I hope you found this enlightening. I'll be around if you have questions, and if you have any need to look at this in depth, iab.com. It's already up on the website, and I can be reached at sue@iab.com. Thanks.